Hey guys, this is a general reading for Gemini for January 2020. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you're significantly, or if you're drawn to this video, if you have significant Gemini in your chart, you're a cross watcher, like even if you're watching for another sign. Also, for more of a complete picture, or if this doesn't resonate with you, check out my other videos that I've either already made or I will make in the future of all these same placements that I just stated. Energy is fluid, so this could have already happened. It could be happening now. It could happen in the future. This is a general reading, so some, none, or all of this may apply. Take what fits, leave the rest. Don't make it fit if it doesn't fit. I could read this as love. It could be career for you. I could read this as you. It could be someone else significant in your life. So flip-flop it, apply it as necessary. Also, thank you so much for those of you who have liked, share, subscribe to my channel. It means a lot, especially commenting. I don't always have time to comment back, but I love reading them and connecting to your guys' energy. Also, I know a lot of people ask about donations, and some people don't have the money to donate. But even if it's a way of giving thanks to me too, like a way that you can donate to me if you don't have anything, just for my time, or if this video has helped you, is by commenting on the video, or, well, preferably commenting, but liking and sharing the video. I mean, it takes 2 seconds. So don't forget, that might be nothing to you, but it means everything to me. So if you appreciate it, please comment, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. For those of you who have inquired about donations and donated, thank you so much. Also about services, all the information is in the description box below. I do shamanic services now, so if you're interested in that, let me know. I haven't added it to my services yet. But besides the shamanic services, so email me about that. But everything else is in the description box below, including read the disclaimer. But email address, service information, prices, PayPal information, and all of that for either donations, purchases, all of that. Is that it? I think so. If I think of anything else, I'll say it, but thank you so much for those of you who have contributed and walked this journey with me. You get what I'm saying? So Gemini. I'm gonna see more. I pulled this deck, this spread a couple days ago, so we'll see. I'm gonna have to tap back into it. But I think it's mostly a channeling. Like, I'll figure more out when I channel it. But when I'm sitting here, there's a lot about heart energy here and like heart healing. I mean, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. I get more in a upbeat kind of creative way. It feels more that good kind of Gemini energy. So we'll get started. It's kind of enthusiastic feeling, but we'll get started and see where this goes. In the center of your reading, you have the Page of Pentacles. So, I mean, you're definitely trying to decide on which way to go and what to do with some new adventure of whether learning or building or apprenticeship or something either of money or value. You could even have a choice, kind of at a crossroads of what action to take. Because I almost get the vibe with this, you know, this is really calling to me. It's almost like he's flipping a coin of what way to go. And then there's directions too down here. Like you're leaving something behind and you're moving forward. And you're kind of trying to finalize or decide where to go or which direction to go. But you're optimistic about it. I mean, it's a very optimistic energy. And what's crossing you or influencing you is you have strength, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. I mean, you have a part of yourself that you're really calming down. I mean, even this lion in this card is really calm. And I'm not sure whether she's creating this storm or whether she's keeping it at bay. So some of you could be creating something, though, to change and move you in a different direction. And you're calming another part of yourself while you're doing it. Or, and this is the one I feel more of, you're kind of removing like dramatic or toxic things from you and from your environment. While you're more just focusing on yourself and your inner self and what you want and your worth and what you find of value, while you're making this decision, this crossroads to move forward. Like there's something that, like I'm assuming whatever this is that's being held back, I mean, it probably obviously meant something to you, or at least some part of you like really wanted it or was drawn to it. Maybe even like a type of temptation. And you're kind of calming this part of yourself to have strength. And while you're doing it, you're using, your own energies or whatever to keep it at bay and keep it away from you. Because you now see your worth. You now see what's important to you. And you want to... Sorry, my cat is licking something. You're now wanting to go towards that route of feeling good and abundance and, it's funny actually because there's a lot of cards in this, or cats in this card. My cat's like being loud right now. But I just get the vibe you're keeping something away from you and you're now doing what's best for you to now make a different decision. You're at a crossroads of a different decision of moving forward and how to move forward. And even though part of you is trying to have strength in doing this, there's a level of excitement that I feel from it too, to be honest with you. I feel, I don't want to say like an excited kid, but kind of. You're curious and excited and, you're just flowing. In the foundation of the reading, you have the Magician. So this is all about knowing you have everything you need to manifest. You're working on manifesting. I just don't feel like I have to go deep with this. I don't feel like this, I could be proven wrong. I don't feel like this is going to be a really deep reading though. I feel like a lot of the deep work has been done and it's more of that playful or excited energy and that creative energy that you're sitting in right now. Because maybe in the past is when you did a lot of the work. You have Temperance here where, she is kind of working on balance and meditation, and over here is cupcakes, and over here is like healthy food, and, there's alcoholic drink over here and water over here. There's a computer over here with books over here, like very much trying to go within and balance like wants versus needs and what is best for me versus what's not best for me. There could have been overindulgent actions. I more really get it was you working on it. So I'm going to pull a card on it just to see, but about the Temperance card. Maybe you even had to like temper between something with your emotions where maybe before you were putting it into love or love type, situation, and I feel like now you're more like either focusing on you or what, like putting that emotion, that energy of emotion into like what you can build and create versus maybe like a person or something like that. I think you were kind of putting a little bit too much of your energy into, you know, yeah, into like somebody. And there's a level of tempering here that's going on of where can I put this energy? Where will it serve me best? And what is best for me? Like what do I need versus what I want? And how you know a lot of times if something you want is not great for you is that what you want should never supersede or come before what you need. Your needs should always be met first. So if what you want causes you not to be able to get what you need, then that thing you want is not good for you. At least until you have what you need, or sometimes they just never like will. Like sometimes you can have what you need and go for you want and it takes away what you need. I hope you get what I'm saying on that. Like sometimes you have to wait to go for what you want till you have what you need, and sometimes you can never have what you want because it will cause a void. It will take away that which you needed. They sometimes they can't play well in the sandbox together, if you get what I'm saying. And I think you're kind of doing that little like figuring it out type thing. And that might be actually why you're sitting here in the crowning and your judgment is literally judgment. Like you're now have this realization, you're now hearing yourself in your higher call, you're making better choices now. On like how to go for things and what actions to take and what to go after that's going to better serve you. However, it does seem kind of in your future like you might have a little bit of trouble with this again. So you're probably going to have to stay working on it. This might be your other twin coming to play here. So you're really going to have to work on integrating these. Or remember that whenever your other twin comes out to play and they're still healing themselves and they're like, well, you know, I do want what I want. Remind it and have a talk with it that both of you need to have what you need first. I mean, because neither one of you will survive. You have to have what... You have to fulfill your needs. Your needs always come before your wants. And the reason I say that is, show me this Judgment card. Yeah, that matches what I was saying. You have the Knight of Swords and the Empress. But the reason I say that is, in your likely future, you have the Seven of Cups and the Four of Cups. So, for one, she's still kind of sitting here trying to decide what option is best for her. But her hand is still going towards this heart. And then here's... I don't know. This is just... Instead of this being more of a Four of Cups vibe, it has more of a typical Five of Cups vibe to me. And this person's just focusing on all this. And this person's like, but what about my cup? And he's like, who cares? I've lost these 3 cups. There's a new, maybe even a new offer coming in. Or a new venture of some emotional sort that you're completely missing. Tell me about the Seven of Cups. Yeah. You're still going back and forth about ending this cycle of what you thought you wanted. Or some way of thinking of what you wanted. So, I mean... What's connecting your thoughts to the likely future is keeping up immense effort in advance. Like, this is going to take effort on your part, so don't give up. There's this fluctuating back and forth And it's going to take a lot of strength on your part in remembering your worth and what to go after and what to take action in. And the only way you're going to get to this Queen of Pentacles state is by having this strength and making the decision to move forward in a different way that you don't normally do. If you need help with this perception on this, hit me up, you know, for either a reading or for a guidance, like channeling or guidance session. They're really great for helping with perspectives, because a lot of times in order to shift this stuff over, it's about perspective. And, you know, on the bottom of the deck here, you have the Four of Wands. So sitting here, re-strategizing. This is the energy on the bottom of the deck, re-strategizing. Because, you know, the Three of Swords is about an overload where it's starting to affect your heart, you know, mentally being overloaded with thoughts. It's starting to affect you emotionally. Four of Swords is kind of resting and re-strategizing. And Five of Swords is going in and getting it done to win mentally so that you can then move on. So really, this is a lot about strategizing as well. And in a way about, do I either focus on coming together with somebody, or do I put this in a creative venture and focus on myself and walk away from, you know, that which I knew? Something in the past, something that, you know, maybe a King of Wands energy, which you do have strength here in what's crossing you. Maybe some of you are associating in some way to a Leo, or there's Leo energy. No, you're not getting up there. Because if you look, it's almost like she's walking away and looking at this orange cat, and the same orange cat is sitting here looking at this King of Wands. So I don't know if some of you are dealing with a King of Wands character. So like I said, either Leo, especially with the strength here, or Aries or Sagittarius, or somebody just with this kind of fiery, charismatic, just more intense passion-like energy. And somebody that once maybe even learned a lot from, but, you know, that you had, you know, stability with at one time. But, I mean, Ten of Swords. You might have got backstabbed by this person. And you don't know what to do, and you're all anxious like now and feeling really bad. You felt like it was an intense connection and you're staying stuck because of it. And you don't know whether to just destroy it and leave it or hold on to it. It could even be also, to be honest with you, that as soon as you do try to pull away and you see the lesson and end the cycle, that they try to come back. But if you look at the Knight of Cups, like this one has a shark coming under them. Like, to me, this isn't the best Knight of Cups. This offer of love comes with danger, which then leads you in the Five of Cups again. And it can stop or block your healing and lead you back to toxicity and putting in more time where you may not want to, or it may not work out for you in the way you plan. So, just saying on that. So it seems to me like you might be a little bit sad and confused again in the future. We'll go on, and if I remember, I'd like to see what switches from that, whether it is just your other self, your other half, or if it's because you pulled back, maybe this person did come back in. Like, maybe that's kind of what this Four of Cups in, like someone coming back in right as you're moving on. Get down. Right as you're trying to move on, and you get it, and you're like, I need to let go, and you're like mentally moving on. So we'll move on. We'll see how that plays out. How you see yourself yeah, is Six of Swords and Eight of Pentacles. I mean, you are looking back a little bit, but you're moving on and you're working on new things. Did I say six? Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. I don't know what I said. And you're working on new things and creating new. Right. Let's see what this tells me. Sorry if I sound kind of nasally. I don't know if I do. For some reason, the last like hour and a half, my sinuses are weird. Just saying. Yeah, like, that's why it says here, what's going from your crowning, like your thoughts of the judgment to your likely future of the Seven of Cups and the Four of Cups. I didn't really pull a card yet, but it came out as I was shuffling it. It has the Lighthouse, which is strength to weather a storm, something to help you navigate through troubled times, spiritual growth. So even though you've had this realization, it's still hard. You're still struggling with it. Why is it hard with struggling? So you have spider, and then you have octopus, and then you have tooth, which really tells me between all of those that, you know, whatever this is that you're having to let go of, there was such a web effect of it. There was so much connected, and it like had connections or bled into so many parts of your life that, like the tooth, like it's something that is painful to extract from your life, or it's hard to extract from your life because it feels like whatever this is or whoever this is, it either impacted or just had its hands or had such a part in so many facets of your life that it's really either making you doubt it and question it, or whether it's like, well, can I let this go and keep this? Or, you know, it's making you have to rearrange so many things, not even just within your life, but in yourself and in your mentality, probably, and how you go about doing things. It's, you know, you're really having to go within and change some stuff around in your life and in yourself, because it was such a big part of your life, basically, and a big part of your energy. And you're really working on it, but just as a little heads up, you have a high likelihood of whether somebody does come in and confuse you, or whether you just start hitting some of those rough patches where you realize how, I can't think of the right words today, but how integrated or how, webbed all this stuff was in you and in your life, basically. In your environment, you have the Hangman and the Fool. So I do think that this was you guys also having a shift in perspective, and there's like this Fool energy. That's really what I feel, is that kind of lighthearted, curious, going for it type energy. It could also be someone around you, like if you let them go, maybe, you know, maybe they got sacrificed, or maybe they're having to rethink about some things. But, you know, they're now free too. we'll go on. Let me see how this more connects. But how the environment sees you, and they both could be you, is the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Like, so this is you working on your new beginning and your new perception of what it is you want. So like I said, this could be you where you've had a new perception and you're in the full energy, you're creating and doing something new, you're taking a leap of faith. And this is you working on the new, whatever you want to build emotionally and materially. And then these other 3 cards kind of came up that I did place over how they see you. But I do have a feeling of somebody possibly coming back in, though. Especially since you have like Page of Swords. So it could be you. It could be you realizing and having this reality and this new creative idea, especially since a lot of times the Page of Swords does really take on the Gemini energy a lot. And then you have Knight of Swords. But he looks kind of angry, honestly. And these are like a lot of crows. It's a lot of shadow energy. And then there's the Nine of Cups. So on one hand, it could be you really having a realization, taking action, and going after what actually makes you happy. But I do also really see this as, right, as you kind of get this idea to build this Nine of Cups, like somebody isn't happy about that and maybe tries to come in. And the Nine of Swords did come up earlier. Let's see. What can you tell me about this Nine of Swords? You have Wheel of Fortune. A little bit more about the Nine of Swords. You have the Ace of Pentacles, like you had over here. So it could be you just taking action on what makes you happy. And building and creating. Maybe with other business partners. Maybe you're working together with people. Maybe you're working together with somebody else. Maybe you're just really serious and busy. That's why it looks like that. Seven of Wands. Maybe it's just you. I mean, it's not really coming up as it's somebody else. It seems more like you're just changing this. This is how you're being seen. Is that you're really just changing. You're going after something new. You're trying to build something either by yourself or with someone else. You're keeping everything away from you and you're ending a cycle. And like you're really determined in going after it. So I guess maybe the Knight of Swords is you. Maybe they're your twins. Either way, you have a realization. I think you take action on that realization or communicate about it. And it seems like you go after that which makes you happy and what you want. Maybe for a few of you, someone's coming in. But the cards are really not supporting that very strongly, or at least not for most of you. In your hopes, you have the Knight of Wands and the Hierophant. So I don't know if some of you are wanting to take action or like battle like with a part of yourself or somebody else. See how it's like he's almost coming up. He has his wand drawn and there's a dragon up there. And then this Hierophant is about like, you know, they're meditating and just a spiritual teacher. I think you want to kind of work on and get rid of this part of yourself that's really aggravating you and really holding you back. And you just want to have a level of like peace. Like you want to see this lesson within you to where you feel at peace with it. Like it's almost, this is actually like the two parts of you where, you know, you're wanting to do all of this, but there's this annoying thing that keeps coming up that you're really having to have strength about. and you want to get rid of this part that just keeps, you know, poking you and annoying you, and you want to get to this place of peace. And what you fear is, you have the Three of Wands. I think you fear that you'll keep waiting for it and or trying to manifest it. Whatever it is, whatever this is that you're needing to close up the cycle to and walk away from. It's just one of those things. It's just going to take effort. You're just going to have to keep working at it and re-putting your mind where it needs to be. And eventually, hopefully, the positive thoughts outweigh the negative thoughts, or the new pattern starts to be more prominent than the old pattern. In your likely outcome, you have the Empress and the Wheel of Fortune. So I think it starts to work for you. I think your work pays off, your efforts pay off, and it starts to change things for you. Starts to change your luck. So now, instead of where over here, she's pointing at this cup with the heart. Now this is landing on the house, like stability, like a stronger foundation. You're now building a stronger foundation. You now know your worth. What I'm saying is, I think your efforts pay off of whatever you've been working on. Yours is a pretty straightforward reading. Your guidance cards are, you have all must-have prizes. Trying to please everyone. Follow your own good advice. Trust yourself. You know what is best for you. On the bottom of the deck is impossible things. Working through disbelief. Imaginative leaps. Fresh perspective. So I'll show them to you first before I go into what I think. You have strength again. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. You have to have like light and dark, so you can see the duality here. You have partnership. Teamwork will give you a better result. Find trustworthy people to partner with. Build up a talented support system. Support team. Which is kind of what I saw with the Three of Pentacles earlier. Then you have abundance. Enjoy the bounty of life. Your supply is unlimited. Blessings are coming to you. And this crystal really wanted to come into play. No focus. I don't know. But anyways, it's Preonite, which is a lot about healing and heart chakra and healing too. Like, it wanted to come out for your guys' reading. And then you also have fear. You have heart chakra. You have sacral chakra. This is also very sexual and creative energy. So maybe you need more of like a heart healing. Balance your heart and your sacral chakra. And also your root, because you have fear here. So I would imagine your solar plexus is probably coming into play as well. You probably need to like balance a lot of these chakras. And you have belonging. But really what it's telling me is, when I look at all these, is, for one, if you're a people pleaser, don't worry about that. Don't let people intimidate you into things either. Don't overgive, and you shouldn't. Like, make sure it's an even give and take. And know that you will get through this. You just have to take leaps of faith to do something different. But when in doubt, like I said in the beginning, ask yourself, like, is this something that I need, or is this something that I want? Is there something I need that I should be focusing on? Because you should always focus on your needs before you focus on your wants, for the most part. Sometimes your wants can help you with your needs, but not really. And also, will this that I want take things out of my life that I need? So you got to ask yourself that. Also, a lot of times people give like amazing advice, but they have a hard time following it themselves. So sometimes if you want to know like what you would do in a situation or what you should do in this situation, just imagine somebody else was having this problem and literally act like you're sitting there talking to them, or write out what you would say to them. Like imagine what you would say. Imagine what you would tell them to do. Chances are you would tell them to leave and not look back. It's not good for them. I don't know what this is, but so just make sure you listen to your own advice. You know, like literally, what would you tell somebody else to do if they were in your situation? And have strength about this partnership, whatever this is. Also have strength going forward. If you're working with people, don't let your heart chakra be so hurt now to where you're scared to team up with people just because you maybe teamed up in the past with somebody who it didn't work out for you, or something that it didn't work out for you. There is abundance. There is magical things here around you for you to tap into. You just had some lessons to learn about some past things that you've dealt with. Not all things are like that. So you're going to have some strength to get out of this. And also, I would also advise you, I mean, probably all your chakras, like make sure, like tap into them, see if they're balanced, see if they need any work or cleaning out. If you need help with this, also let me know. I do chakra clearing and balancings, but look at your root chakra, look at your heart chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus. I would really look at all of them, but you seem to be very much in your lower chakras. Like, especially in balance wise. So, I think I'll pull an animal spirit card for you. And a shaman card. I almost feel like you guys should have more stuff, but I think I'm just not used to my videos being shorter. But I hope this helps you. It's just not a deep reading. Like, I don't think you guys are in like very deep energy. Yeah. So I think you guys are in really lower energies and chakras. You have giraffe that came up. And it says, rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. And you have fox, clever. You are swift and smart. Solutions to problems are easily found. Always listen to your instincts. Resources surround you. Be open to romance. So just know that don't become jaded because of this experience. Then you have peacock, vibrancy. You were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. So I don't know if I showed you. Here's the giraffe, visionary, fox, clever, peacock, vibrancy. So, I mean, don't let this, make you jaded. Because you have stuff coming your way. What it's telling you, though, is to focus on yourself right now and heal yourself. Keep your vibrations up and build. Build you. Make sure you get what you need. Make sure you've built yourself a strong foundation and worked on your self-worth and healing your heart chakra and your root and all those, your lower chakras especially, because that's where you're sitting in right now. And not only are you sitting in them, but they're not balanced. They're out of balance. And don't give up, because you really do have things like right around the corner. But you have to learn to like more focus on you and get yourself together first. Like I said, there was a lot of emphasis on, do I need this or do I want this? And right now it seems like you need to be focusing on things that you need, not in a fear-based way or a lack way, but in a self-love and self-preservation way. that way you're at a better vibration and you're finding people at a better vibration. And also, I mean, find somebody who's doing the work you're doing too. If you're not sitting there doing the work to get yourself in a better place, guess who you're going to find? You know what I mean? You're going to find people who, they're also not doing much with themselves. They don't have anything to lose. So therefore, they're not going to be as authentic to you. You know, there's Penguin, authenticity, intuition. Like, it just seems like you need to do a little bit more work. Like, get farther in the work that you're thinking about doing. It seems like you got the right idea. You're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. You got yourself kind of on it. And then all of a sudden, your mind started playing tricks with you again. Or your emotions did, should I say. Because these are both cups. And it kind of confuses you for a minute. Or it can. It has the possibility of it. And just remember what it is you said you were going to do and go do that. Like, have strength. There's a part of you you're going to have, like, control over. And discipline that part of you. Because if you meet somebody else, either work on something else or meet somebody else with where you're at right now, it's not going to be that good of results. You have to get farther along so that when you meet somebody, you know what you've been through and you know the work you've done and you have something to lose. That gives you self-worth when you have stuff to lose. I mean, you can have it without it too, but what I'm saying is when somebody's put that much effort into something and it's important to them and they've just really worked at it, they don't give that up that easy. So they either then try to find people who have been doing that or understand themselves, not only because the vibration matches, but because they know that that person more than likely is going to match with all the stuff they've done and not impede on the stuff they've worked for. They're not as likely to lose it. Where if you find somebody and you've worked for and they're at a lower vibration, you're either not going to match up or them being in your life is going to make you let go of what you worked for. Kind of what I was saying before. Like, that's how somebody or something that you want can make you lose what you need. Always, or at least until they've raised vibration. And you'll also know what to look for in people because you've been doing stuff yourself. You know? Like, if you want someone to build with and work on things with you, then find somebody who's building themselves and working on things within themselves. Because that then means that they have a level of responsibility and dedication to them, which means that's going to carry over into your relationship or situation or whatever. So you have the rainbow. And then on the bottom of the deck, you also have the beloved in the upper world. I don't know if that's meaning to connect to like spirit or the spirit world, spiral, going within, Pachamama. Let's read the rainbow first. Sorry if I'm kind of blah. I'm a little bit tired. So the rainbow is also a bridge between this physical and spiritual worlds to the heavenly realms, which is funny because under the beloved, you have the upper world. The rainbow tells you that the end of the storm is near. Persevere and remember that it is darkest before the dawn. Do not give up hope. Things are about to take a positive turn, which is why in your likely outcome you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. Listen for the morning rooster that announces the coming of the dawn, even while the night is still darkest. But do not claim victory yet or let your guard down fully. Don't get caught up in pursuit of the illusion of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Find the treasure now in the moment by coming into right relationship with those around you. All your gifts are at hand, so obvious you may have missed them. Be true with your intentions. Do not be led astray by daydreams. Yeah, that's true. Because a lot of your likely future, that's very much a daydreaming energy. Both the Seven of Cups and the Four of Cups. So watch the stories you're telling yourself and what you're thinking of. And then Beloved, let's just see what that is. As we grow, we start to recognize the beloved in everyone, not confusing their personality with their divine nature. So even if somebody's like, like still seeing their soul through that. Accept the invitation to learn through the path of love. Expand your being through union with another. When you recognize the beloved in another, you call forth their highest and purest nature. Follow the path of love. Be careful with romantic love, the kind of love you fall in and out of. Own all the projections you have placed upon the person you are dreaming of. Remember that they are only mirroring back your own deep longings rather than revealing their true selves. If you fail to notice this, be prepared to walk through the fire of strong emotions once again. So maybe that's why you have a likelihood of, in your likely future, you're sitting in the Seven of Cups and the Four of Cups again. Like, what is it that you want from that person? And more importantly, what is it that you think you want that you're really trying to get what you actually need? Like, what do you really need? That you think you actually want the person, but it's something the person like pulls up in you or makes you feel, or, you know, you've put them as a symbol of for what it is that you actually need. Let's see something real quick. Let's try to tap in real quick just to see what it is. I mean, it's a general reading, so it's going to be different for everybody, but just to see, like, what is it that you need? Maybe it'll ring true for somebody, even one person, enough to make them realize something and allow them to actually move forward. So you need your Nine of Cups. For one, you're not spiritually happy either, but, or obviously, what does Gemini need? So King of Wands, that's funny, because the King of Wands came up earlier. This was the character that was coming up. It's funny. But what do they need from the King of Wands? You want your stability and your happiness and your foundation back. Because the Four of Wands is coming up again, which was coming up with the King of Wands. See? King of Wands, Four of Wands. I think you learn how to build your own stability, though. But something about you tries to revert back, too. You see this King of Wands as you being happy, you being emotionally balanced, and you're like, your stability. And then you have the King of Cups too. Your emotional stability. Six of Pentacles. Emotional balance. You have some really devilish kind of energy to work through here, some codependent energy. Because I almost get also like this Four of Wands and this King of Wands is them, and then this King of Cups and this Six of Pentacles is you, which would normally be good, but this just looks kind of like an angry, kind of overindulgent, kind of toxic energy, which here is like the cake. And then in the recent past, you had the Temperance, where you had the treats, the laptop, the liquor, and on the other side, you had vegetables, a book, and water. And then this cup is, or this king is like looking in the cup. I don't know if I can get it to focus on it. See? He's like, where's the love, basically? Where's the love? Where's my emotions? It's a very overindulgent, like out of balance energy. Where this king, he's just like not really focused on it. He doesn't care. He's indifferent. That doesn't mean he's balanced either, but in some way, you know, he's either checked out enough to where it doesn't matter. He's in his own little world, or like he's at least somewhat more emotionally fulfilled. And you have here again, Queen of Pentacles, which is what's influencing you. You have the Hermit, and then the Two of Wands, which you also have what's influencing you. But if you look at this Hermit, though, he's like not wanting to look at his path. Like he's staying stuck like in this pot. He's not looking forward to the lantern. He has his eyes closed and he's looking down. Like your part of you at the very least is not really trying to see or not really trying to heal. Not really trying to see things and realize things. Yeah. Because you have here like really big, like you have Ace of Swords and the Hanged Man. I mean, that's all about perspective and awakening, realization, epiphany. Like you're trying not to see, exactly like the Hangman who, or not the Hangman, the Hermit, who's not looking at the path. You're just like unraveling. Like something about you is not balanced. You're not happy. You're just unraveling. Even if you're not, but you feel like it. Like you just, this person to you feels like you being you again. Like your stability. Everything being right. Like everything being back the way it's supposed to be. Like being controlled again. Like the world is right. You feel good again. You feel confident again. You could build again. What is it? Let's ask this question. We'll go a couple more minutes and stop. No, wait. I'm almost done. Get down. Let's ask what it is about this person. So you should write on a piece of paper what it is you like about this person and what you don't like about this person or situation, whatever. Because a lot of times you'll find what you like, what you don't like is actually mirroring, and it's a projection, even if it's in the same way or in a different way, but similar energy. Like they lied to you, but you're lying to yourself. Or it's literally in the same way. And you'll find what you like about them is stuff that actually is within you, but you're having a hard time like expressing that. And they do. What is it about this person? Page of Cups reversed. Or for one, they're able to look forward and not let things phase them. And you like that. You like that they're not stuck, that they're charismatic. There's something about them kind of not putting you as a priority too. And ignoring you. I think that's kind of playing into your self-worth issue to where you're almost kind of stuck chasing. Yeah, to manifest this. So there's a big, this is where it's playing into your solar plexus chakra, like I said, too. Is this, every time I look down, it's going out of focus. But I think you like their level of confidence, and something about you seems them, it's like, it's admirable, but you're like addicted to the chase of it. It's almost like chasing validation or chasing your worth, or like it's almost like a mental screwery that they are indifferent about you. Hold on. Okay, let's see if that's better. But to where it's almost like it's messing with you, that because they are indifferent about you, it's almost initiating like this shadow contract within yourself to where you like want to chase them, or you're like not good enough or something. Like, why is it that them being indifferent is making them chase? It's turning you on, for one, in some weird way, but Ace of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. I don't know if it's making you think because they're not interested, they have everything they need. There's obviously some type of wound here. So that's the obvious. Especially from like maybe a childhood wound. But maybe this is a family thing, actually. Like maybe for some of you, this is like a father figure or a mother figure, even. Like somebody in your family, and not even a lover. Maybe they're the father of your kids. Like either something was taken from you, or you never really received it when you were a kid. And I think what's being triggered here is that this person, it's like you had it, and then whether it's because you had to leave or they left you, like, because this is very a different card. Whoever this person is, for the most part, most of you, they're very indifferent. And I think it's triggering something from your childhood with like your family, where it's like you either never had something and you almost had it with this person, and it was the closest you can get to it energy wise or satisfaction wise, and then boop, there it goes. Or whether they did give it to you at one time and then they took it away, and it's triggering you into this chase mode. Like it's just triggering like your worthlessness. There's so many shadow energies here, which I think is like you were coming up, and I said with that Knight of Swords, it had a lot of crows in it. It was very shadow energy. So this person or thing, it could just be a family member, or they could be triggering, like I said, stuff from your childhood. And it's like you want to fix with them what you couldn't with your family or something. So if you want to know more than this, hit me up for a reading. This is obviously kind of a very obvious thing, but it's what's coming up through the cards. I think this person reminds you of like your dad or a father or even a parental figure or something like that, something family-like. And they're very indifferent about it, though. It's almost like they take it and keep it for themselves, and that triggers something in you to either chase it, or it confuses you and makes you think like you want it or you're not good enough. Like you have to prove that you're good enough. You have to prove that you can have it. You have to work to have it. It's very much a lack mentality. And you're just really not seeing the bigger picture on this. You're not able to see through your emotions. You're not able to see through your wounds. You have like glasses on that are colored like your wounds. So all you see is the wounds. You actually don't see your wounds. That's why they're actually triggering you in your shadow, but your subconscious. But you get what I'm saying. Yeah, you do have a lot of heart chakra. That's why you have to heal and work on your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart at the very least. Because this person is so indifferent to you. Like, it's almost like they could care less. Why could they care less? It just doesn't matter, but... because their energy is actually the same. They're just expressing it in a different way. Their overindulgences might be like somewhere else, or they're just selfish, or... you just really don't understand what they're going through, just like you didn't really understand the perspective of whether it was your father or mother or whatever. There is all this stuff that initiates almost like this chase. Like, see how they're like holding this and they're like, come get it. It's like a game almost. I mean, I'm not saying that person's playing a game. They might be. But it's triggering something within you where it almost turns into this type of game and heartbreak. Like your mind sees it as a game, as a strategy. And it just creates further hurt and confusion. 3 of Swords, 7 of Cups. Instead of seeing for the worth, like, I know my worth anyways. And also, being in the Empress energy, like the Empress up there in the likely outcome. Like, an Empress doesn't, they'll create what they want, but they're not going to chase after it, especially if something or someone's like running from them. Like, no. Because they know their worth, they know their value, and anybody who's going to be with them and in their life is going to also recognize their worth and their value. That person is going to mirror what they also know about themselves. So this does come with a lot of, like, you know, solar plexus issues. Why is one of my deck turned over? Anyway, either way, you need to work on some of your lower chakras. Because there's a lot of illusions going on here. You have a lot of child wounds. So either way, it may confuse you a little bit in your future again. I don't know if it's just through daydreaming. I don't know if it's that it just creeps up through your twin. I don't know if this person comes back. Let me ask and see if I could figure that out. Why would this start to creep up again in like your future? Queen of Pentacles reverse. Like, you're not going after that which you're trying to create. You're not remembering your worth. And because of that, and then you're not happy because of it, it affects your confidence. And then because your confidence is affected, you start thinking about it one time, gave you your confidence, and you had everything you wanted, and then it was taken from you. You really need to work after and go what it is that you originally in the beginning thought you were going to do and what you wanted. These creative endeavors that you've been thinking of, you really need to go after it. because it's going to bring you that emotional fulfillment and kind of help you with that creative spunk that you're wanting to do. It'll help heal your heart and your perspective too. If you are like, yeah, I'm going to do this, blah, 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 and you get to it and then you either don't do it or you start daydreaming or you let your past start to rule you again and not have strength, like the strength card, it's just going to pull you right back in your own cycles, because it starts to affect your confidence, because that stuff's going to make you happy. It's going to be things that you can more control. You can get achievement and feel good about your accomplishments and start to work on your chakras and healing them, like your confidence and your self-esteem and your solar plexus, and it starts to make you feel good and rooted again and grounded again, and like you're building and you're using your creation. It starts healing all your lower chakras. But if you don't go on that, on those aspirations you've been thinking of, and you're just like, oh, that'd be cool, and then you don't do it, you're going to feel, again, not grounded, not safe. Get down. Like, not grounded, not safe. And, you know, nowhere to express your creativity, and you're not going to feel confident. You have low self-esteem. And then I think a lot of times that's what triggers you back to thinking about this person or situation, because at one time they did make you feel good and whole and complete and confident and good enough and everything again, until it was taken away, until it forced you to take it away. Something keeps going back to that. You've got to create something new that fulfills that feeling, because it was mostly just an illusion and it was part-time. It's what gave you happiness and confidence and security. That's what you're really trying to go after, but it's not a source of that anymore, which means you've got to create something and create a new reality that's going to give you a sense of those same emotions, actually more. It doesn't even matter if it had the sense to be for you. It's over and it's not doing it now. It's really a misperception on a way of thinking. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if it once did. Why are you trying to chase something to get it back when it's just clearly not working, instead of working on building something else that then would give you that plus more? You know what I'm saying? Like, just recreate. And that might be what you don't want to do too. Maybe you don't want to take responsibility on the creation. Maybe it was just easy being with this situation or being with this person, that it's just like, boom, it's done. And you felt that way. But newsflash, stuff like that's not going to work. That's a codependent issue, and it's going to fall apart fast, which it probably did. So you got to do the work anyways, and it's not still hanging around anyways. That makes it not a productive thought. It's not working out for you. So, I mean, at that point, you really just have to ask yourself, like, why do you keep going back to something that current day does not have the possibility to make you happy or give you what it used to in the past? That's not a level of control. You can't control somebody else. And if anything, honestly, with the level of a difference he's coming up as, he's probably never going to give it to you anyways, unless something really bad happens in his life and then he needs you. You don't want somebody to need you. That's codependency. But he probably is not going to give it to you anyways, just because. I don't know. But either way, present day, he's not a source of that. You just need to get that really in your head. And every time it comes up that tries to pull you back to that, just tell yourself, I'm thankful for the time I had, but that's over and it's no longer bringing me that emotional satisfaction. I must create to get my own emotional satisfaction. I mean, obviously be in the present moment, be okay where you are, but you've got to create your reality. And that's why it fell apart, was because you put your emotional satisfaction in an external source. Anytime you do that, you're bound to fall apart. It's going to be taken away. I mean, you're going to fluctuate even on your own anyways, but you have more of a chance of having that emotional satisfaction when you build that within you and around you, within your own creation, rather than giving that over to someone else. That's literally called giving your power away. Affects you in a lot of ways. It sucks. So please stick on this path that you were originally on and focusing on. And exactly like I said, it's immense effort. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of strength and a lot of willpower on your part to keep reeling you back. And really try to avoid that whole daydreaming thing. I think that really hit on something too, because I think when you daydream, it starts to put you back in this cycle. Like, really try to focus and work on this thing that you were planning on doing and putting together, because it's going to get you not only where you were trying to go with this person anyways, but way beyond that, that you probably couldn't even conceive of, didn't even think was possible for you. Speaking of conceiving, are possible in your likely future, you have a pregnant empress. And then you have it focused on the house and the stability and the foundation. I think if you take the advice of what I'm saying right now, you have the possibility of, like I said, having this new abundant, not only what you wanted with this person, but anything you couldn't even think of before. And you have a new foundation that you built now to where you don't feel like you need this person. I mean, really, you just wanted them. You didn't need them. They actually took away your needs. Now you have your own needs fulfilled within yourself. You are more of a complete, well-rounded person within yourself. And then you will attract more of that of what you want and all of that. So I'm not going to keep repeating myself because I feel like I am. But please just stick to the original plan you were doing and actually take action on it. And even if it sucks and you're like, oh, I didn't have to do this before and I felt good without having to do anything or whatever it was, well, just remember the fact it fell apart too. So, but that's not really great. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to want to go back and redo that again without having to do anything. It's very much a thing of entitlement. And usually, you know, when you do that and that level of instant gratification, they usually do fall apart. So build something now that you have more control over and that has less of a likelihood of falling apart. And even if it does, oh well, because you've built that foundation up within yourself. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So you actually have a lot of good energy here. I'm excited for you. So just be careful. You have this likely energy coming in the future that can confuse you and pull you back into your cycle again. So just remember to keep yourself on point. If you have to, write this stuff down, black and white in a journal. And when you hit those moments of, you know, it confuses you or you go back to your old ways, just remember, like, what is it that I really want from this person? How did they make me feel? What do I really need? They're not here anymore. I don't feel that way anymore. Interacting with them does not make me feel that way anymore. You're remembering how you felt before during the beginning honeymoon phase, probably. Whatever it is. Either way, the reality of it is it no longer makes you feel that way. Therefore, it is an illusion and it is a trap and it's not serving you and you need to let it go. And yeah, it's going to suck, but you need to have discipline through that cycle of letting it go and in the middle of you building to something new that does give you that and more. You're literally working on retraining your brain and your subconscious. Okay? I love you guys. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Please comment. It's your way of giving back to me as well. And it's your way of donating if you can't donate, of circulating the video, not only to give back or if this video helped you, but also somebody else might need to hear this message. Also, if you're interested in services or donating or anything like that, the information is in the description box below. Please don't forget, I do shamanic services like illumination, soul retrievals, destiny retrievals, power animal retrieval, and even other things too, energy clearings, death rites, house blessings, all that, but that doesn't matter distance-wise. But either way, hit me up if you want any information. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything and for walking this journey with me. And I'll be seeing and talking to you soon. Bye.